Hey there, I'm Di. I've got some parcels that I want to open up. This one is from Artistic Bear Cove. That is Chloe Rose. And I originally wanted to order the brushes. They were her professional set of brushes. I wanted them, but I'm like, professional? Definitely not a professional. Then she released a second set of brushes that were a bit cheaper and more aimed at your, I don't know, people like me maybe. First up, I actually ordered one of her stickers. That will definitely go straight onto my laptop with my little sticker collection happening there. Oh, wow. Feels so nice and soft and so thick. Like they're just so voluptuous. I have never had such a good quality set of brushes before. Oh my goodness. And you can after having dodgy brushes, you can so tell the difference. I didn't know if I'd be able to, being that I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Yeah, you can feel and see the difference. So for comparison, I got a set of brushes. Upon first inspection, I thought I was getting a really nice set of brushes. It's these blue guys, and you know, the bristles do seem okay. Yeah, similar thickness. Anyway, this one is being held together by duct tape, so I could actually use it. It was a 9-pack of brushes and 5 of the handles just tore straight off. I was not very impressed about that at all. And that brand, I'm going to tell you the brand of them just so you can avoid them yourself. Royal and Langnickel. So I am going to give Artistic Bear Cove just a slight little twist and pull. Yeah, no movement at all. Yep, all good. They can take a fair bit of pulling. Anyway, now this next package is from Bailey J. Okay, so I ordered one of her bags. It's got like little gaming images on it. She's so good at what she does. Oh, I got I think it's a cottagecore washi. And that's what I'm going to be testing out today. It's the only thing I've got to really test out of Bailey J's. What else did I order? What's a little bunny? Oh, look at these cute little bunnies. I didn't order her. She just came as a bonus. Okay, I got a planner pad. Try and get myself a little bit organized for my channel. Okay, and then we get a nice little thank you. Thank you for supporting my shop. If there's any issues with your order, please contact me. Bailey, no issues at all. Oh, on the back of her thank you, she actually puts one of her prints. Her attention to detail is amazing. Like, she markets herself so beautifully. I did actually want to order Bailey's sketchbook, but that brings me to my next purchase. And it's actually a purchase that I did about a year ago, maybe even more. And you've probably noticed it sitting in my background. And that's this. It's a sketchbook by Nerdforge. And it is beautiful. Martina and Hansi make the most epic stuff. It's truly amazing. And Martina is such an amazing artist. So as I say, I've had it for about a year. And would you like to see everything that I've done in it so far? We'll do a little bit of a sketchbook tour. Yep, that's right. Completely empty. I have not done anything in this. And I think I'm just so intimidated that it's such a beautiful book. I'm gonna ruin it. I'm gonna put my dodgy sketches in here and I'm totally gonna ruin this book and I don't wanna ruin it. So I think it's time to get over that. And I'm gonna draw in this today. So I'm doing this one, these, and the washi. Let's take a closer look at this sketchbook. It reads, "Make stuff with stories." I love that. I love creating characters with little stories attached to their personalities. So I think it's fitting if I make this book for creating my characters. It's so damn beautiful with its intricate embossing and gold details. It's pretty chunky, so I do be thinking it may take the rest of my life to fill it up. I still can't believe Martina filled this in one video. That lady is an art machine. I want to test out a few mediums to see how they react with the paper. First up is alcohol markers. I do a few different swatches. Circle and triangle were to see if the lines stayed sharp, which they did. Then more swatches with a different amount of layers to see if it would bleed through the paper. Of course it did, but it didn't transfer to the next page. So that's great. Then I did watercolour. Today I'm also going to be testing out a new set of watercolours I purchased. They're nothing flash, but are certainly a step up from my cheapy set I've used previously. So I do hope they do better than those. I also used Bailey's washi to make sure it would keep a nice sharp edge, which it did. I wanted to see how this paper would hold up to a very wet medium. Of course it did buckle, but it's not too bad. Then I tried some acrylic paint. Again, it buckled a bit, but not badly at all. As an afterthought, I used paint markers to see if it would tear up the page. As I know with my cheapy sketchbook, it really chews through it. But again, the paper is holding up pretty well. I'm happy enough with the swatches that I'll use all these mediums in the book. I've decided to stay in my comfort zone for this first drawing, and I go for something I've done before. I have a set of mushroom characters that I created. There's 7 of them, so today I'm going to add an 8th member. I spun my little wheel app of different ideas to help me come up with a theme, and the 2 I landed on was Wizard and Bubbles. So for my little mushy cap, I'm going to make it look like a wizard's hat. And then the mushy's going to be making bubbles with his magic wand. With the sketch done, I lighten the pencil work and bust out my new set of watercolours by Monte Marte. They feel less chalky as I start out, but very quickly I notice something weird is happening with the purple, and you can probably see it yourself. See those big patches of pink? I didn't paint those on there. It's the purple doing some sort of magic. I do wonder if it's from the surface of the paint in the pan, so I go over the whole thing with another layer. But I can see it's still trying to turn pink in some places. It's so weird and not what I expected for a $50 set of watercolours, as not even my $5 set did that. Really don't seem to be having as easy a time with this picture as I did the last time I used watercolours, and I'm struggling a bit. I really think it is a lack of planning on my part, and is a lesson to myself on the 6 Ps. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. With most of the mushy's colours down, I decide to paint the background with a darker colour. I do this as I want to draw on bubbles, and having a darker background will make the bubbles pop. No pun intended. However, I forgot to use the washi I'm supposed to be testing, and I'm still learning how to best use watercolours. And I don't think this is it, as I just wanted a wash of colour. Oh well. Then I go back over the stars with a metallic watercolour paint and use a micron to add details and the line work. I actually wanted a sketchy looking outline, but started drawing a solid one and then ended up somewhere in between the two. For the bubbles, I used coloured pencils and a stencil. Seems I can't draw circles to save my life. Then, with the memory of a tutorial from Super Ray Dizzle in my mind, I used yellow, pink and blue pencils to create the reflections on the bubbles to bring them to life. Finally, I go back in to do some shadows. Done. He's a bit dodgy, but cute. I'll name him Merlin. Merlin the mushroom. Let's do another picture. First, let's put this washi tape down before I forget. It's so pretty, and it's going to end up influencing the colour palette of this next picture, without me even realising it. I sketch out a watermelon as it's a nice simple design I think I can pull off. Plus, the colours of a sliced watermelon are just so aesthetically pleasing to me. But I can't just paint a watermelon. It needs more. So I draw a little mouse that is eating the watermelon. I think I'll name her Dumpling, as she's quite round and plumpy. Like a little dumpling. So while I get into painting this, let's talk about the artistic Bear Cove brushes, Nerdforge sketchbook and Bailey's merch. Other YouTubers I like and respect have reviewed these sorts of things like Mirabila and Super Ray Dizzle. And I do want to trust their reviews, but if it were me, I would find it really hard to be impartial to review something from someone that I like, know, and are friends with. But I, however, don't know these YouTubers apart from what I see in their videos, so I believe I can be completely impartial. You could argue, however, that I do like these YouTubers, and why would I be stupid enough to bag out their stuff on my channel? I will say here and now, if I'd reviewed them and truly didn't like the stuff, I wouldn't have bothered making this video, as I simply won't recommend you spending your hard-earned money on something I wouldn't purchase myself. So let's be really honest about these brushes and book. Please also remember, this is a non-artist review. I'm just a home hobbyist type art and crafter. So, are these brushes making me a better artist? No, they're not. A magic brush like that does not exist, as you need to up your own skills through learning and practice. Are they allowing me to do better art? Yes. In my opinion, they are. Not in a super obvious way, but when you use a brush that doesn't shed, the handle doesn't fall off, the bristles retain their shape, the thick brush head holds the paint nicely, and how do I explain this? As you run the brush along the page in lines, it keeps its form so you get a nice crisp line. It makes doing the painting easier, so I can focus more of my energy on the actual doing rather than fighting with a dodgy tool. Does that make sense? Plus, for me, the number one thing is when you are doing art, you want to enjoy it. You should be able to trust in the tools you are using to just enjoy and really get into the creative process. So yeah, I will buy these brushes again. I'm already planning on getting Chloe's mint set, but she did mention recently that she's trying to make more room for merchandise in her shop. So I'm gonna hold off just in case she releases something else I want. What I would love, and Chloe, if you do see this, I'd love a smaller set of brushes for detailed work. I personally use them a lot, and I'd love to own a good quality set. Next, we have the sketchbook. It's a beautiful book, superb quality on the outside and inside. Don't think I'll do watercolor in it again. I think watercolor paper or even multimedia paper does better reacting with such a wet medium. This book, however, is lovely to sketch in, stands up to my rough pencil work and erasing, and it handles the acrylic paints really well. The washi tape, as you will see, peels off just fine and leaves a nice crisp line. So the reviews you've already seen on this by Ray and by Mira are definitely 100% legit. So my faith in them have been sustained as well. And honestly, Chloe, Martina, Hansi, Bailey, you should all be so proud of these products that you've put your name against. And as viewers, if you're looking to buy their products, hopefully you have the confidence now in knowing that you're getting something that is worth your money. Anyway, ramble over, and that's all from me, so I hope to see you next time.